Hi everyone, how are you? This is going to be an exciting video. I'm going to answer a question I get reasonably often on my apps, and that is, how do I tell if my business idea is good? Well, you kind of never know. We always sort of like our business ideas, right? Some ideas we know they're bad. Some ideas we just know like, okay, this is just bad, okay? But sometimes it's hard to tell if an idea is good or mediocre or great, and entrepreneurs, they get really excited about their ideas and they think they're always great, but maybe they're just mediocre, right? But how do you, and it's really important not to make that mistake, because you can go into a business and think it's great, but it's just mediocre, but you're going to be spending like years of your life pursuing that mediocre thing, right? Or eventually shifting out of it into something else. So here are some ways that I recommend and I do use if I have a business idea. Okay. First, I certainly want to reach out to my business relationships and ask them what they think about it. And this is key because business relationships, I mean, they don't just happen, right? You have to cultivate them. And and you have to do that, as you can see, even before you have your business idea. You have to kind of network and get to know people and just be on people's radar and things like that. So always trying to make connections, keep the connections alive, keep in touch with people, so that you can sort of reach out and you can ask for advice to not just from people that you know, but from people who are actually smart in business, who've started businesses before, who've started successful businesses before, who will know what they're talking about, instead of just giving you random like answers that are not that helpful. So that's the first thing, is that determining whether your business idea is good or not starts before you have a business idea. Once you do start asking people what they think, try to have a very diversified set of people who you ask. Certainly you want to ask smart business people, but you certainly also want to ask people who will be the most likely clients for your business, right? So if you have because business is like a male-centric space, but what if you have a female-centric product? Men aren't going to really be able to determine, whether some kinds of makeup will be used or whatever. So you want to also ask your target market, would they use such a product? And when you do that, make sure people aren't sugarcoating their feedback. Make sure that people are really explaining to you, get it out of them, and I know it's very easy to get excited about positive feedback, but sometimes positive feedback, people are just being nice, especially if they're your friends or family. They don't want to discourage you. So get a lot of feedback. Feedback is not going to be your only thing, because feedback is certainly great, but you don't want to rely on it 100%, because it's all theory. If you just ask about ideas, it's all theory, and no matter how smart people are, they cannot predict the future. So what you got to do is figure out a simple way for you to maybe build a prototype and put some kind of initial thing into people's hands, so that they can see, oh, this is what you were talking about. And often they will say, like, I totally didn't quite think that this is what you were talking about when you were explaining it to me. And that happens a lot. Just because, whatever, that really does happen a lot. So if you're trying to start like a restaurant, it's impossible to do that. But if you have some kind of a website or a mobile app, or even maybe like a physical product that you're selling, or like maybe you're sewing something, or maybe physical, whatever. With some products, it's very easy to put things into people's hands. And if it isn't easy to put the product into people's hands, notice here that nothing about this business will be that easy, because if it's costly and time consuming to put the product into people's hands, that means that the business will require a lot of resources, and that's risk, right? You might need to pay someone. That's a lot of risk, right? If you are able to produce the product in-house for free, that's much cheaper, right? If you have to pay labor, that's a whole layer of risk, right? And I run into this a lot with like people who start mobile apps, because mobile apps, like if I make it, I can make them because I just make them. But if a person has to hire a developer, that's expensive. I mean, and just to see if the prototype is going to work out, it's going to be quite expensive. So it's a whole different experience. If I'm making the app, the risk is significantly less. Whether a person compared to whether when a person has to hire someone to make the app, and in which case the risk is significantly more. So think about how good are you a fit for this business, right? Is this in your wheelhouse, right? Or is this going to be a stretch for you? Because that's going to be important, because business ideas, some of them are good for some people, but not for others. And so you can't just ask, like, is this business idea good? You have to ask, is this business idea good for me? Right? Am I going to be passionate about it in 5 years, or am I going to be able to pull it off? Or, is this what I want to really be doing long term? So it's really for you, right? So what did we cover? You have to be able to put the product into market. You have to get feedback even before that. And then you have to make sure that idea is right for you on many levels. You're passionate about it, you're good at it, you know that space, you have experience, you're able to build a team, you're able to raise money in this space, whatever. You understand the business environment in this particular business space very well. Versus if you don't, how do you even know a lot of the thinking points of the nuances, right? And that's really a lot of big mistakes that I see people make, is that they don't know the business space. So it's nearly impossible to tell where the devil's in the details, So if the person doesn't know the business space well, or the business environment well, they're going to be kind of stabbing in the dark, but they won't be certain whether a lot of their strategy is right, because they don't know. They're going on assumptions or guesses, right? So you certainly don't want to be doing that, and that's part of it. Is that's making sure that this business is the right business that you should be starting, because certainly you have expertise in some fields. So start one in which you have experience, because that will give you such an advantage. So those are some of the things that I would think about when determining if a business idea is good. And the other things are: is the market a growing market or a good market, or is it a declining market, or is it a very competitive market? So if it's declining or competitive, it's not good, right? The whole business space isn't favorable. But if it's a growing market, that's a favorable business environment, right? So you want to be in that. Also, is the market big enough? Right? So you want to, what is the potential that you want to grow your business into, right? And you have to know your financial goals and things like that. So a lot of it is very sensitive to your personal situation. So that's kind of it. Certainly there are more things, but these are the core issues. So I encourage you to kind of get started, get feedback, try to create a prototype, and think about the business holistically. Is it good for you? Are you the right founder for it? And if not, which kind of businesses are you the right founder for? So thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe to my channel on YouTube. And of course, if you are looking to start a business and you have some business ideas, I created mobile apps that help people with business ideas, business planning, marketing, and fundraising, and they can be found on Problemio.com, or by searching the app stores for Problemio. You can search Android, iOS, Kindle, Nook. It's all there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.